Hey cycling community, this is Millie Vanilli. Millie came to us as a foster from ACT, Animal Compassion Team. Say hello, Millie. So when the fetching Mrs. Grusis brought her home, I said, so what's a foster? She says, we take care of the dog, but they pay for the vet bills. So because they pay for the vet bills, I was good with that. About a week later, the fetching Mrs. Grusis says, you know, we now own Millie, so we now have extra vet bills. Don't we? You're a cute little one, aren't you? You are. So I'm going to put her down here. And unlike Brian, I think she's going to stay there. So let's see. See if that's a little spot there. This is her first time in this room too. Oh. Yeah, there you go. That's a good girl. That's a good babe. One of my favorites races that I've done a number of years is the 5-day stage race Tour de Gila in New Mexico. Training for a stage race is different obviously than not training for a stage race. What I would do is about every month and a half, I would do a mini block. So I'd start off with 3-day blocks and then work up to 4-day blocks. I never did a 5-day block. So the key to doing these blocks is two things actually. One is you have to have rest before and sufficient rest after for supercompensation. So supercompensation is that you're adapting to the extra workload that you did during the block. And the second item is you have to have a well-designed block. So the block that I do for the very first time is going to be different than the block that I'm doing the next month or a month and a half. However, that block that I'm working on that next month and a half is built on what the work I've done previously and on the previous block. So, when all that, because if you design it to make the block too easy, then that can actually work against you. If you make it too hard, that can work against you too. You can go from a supercompensation type of situation to an overtraining situation. And so that'll also knock you down in terms of decreasing your form. So at each block, I had it in mind. Oh, are you moving around? Okay, don't do anything. Don't do anything funny. See, she's fizzing around. So let's get her back on her bed. So what I would do, okay, I think I'm going to put her back and then I'll be back. So during each block, I had it in my mind that I had to get through the block. I knew the blocks were designed well because I designed them. I was getting accumulated fatigue as I was going on through each day of the block, but I was able to accomplish everything I needed to on each of those training days. And same thing with the 5-day stage race. I was functional enough, sometimes hurting, but functional enough, to get through the race. And I never woke up the next day and said, "Man, I'm too tired. I can't do this race." However, when I get to the last day of the block or the last race of the stage or after the stage, then I'm ready to not look at my bike again for a couple days and just take a lot of rest. One time during a T block I was doing, a T block is a Thanksgiving block. It starts from Thursday morning before we go and eat a lot of food, and it goes all the way through Sunday. So same thing, I got through the 4 days. After that ride, get home, I'm hungry, I'm ready to rest, and I got to make sure that I'm not going to be the walking dead the next day at work on Monday morning. So when I get home on that Sunday, there's a message on the phone, and it's from my sister, and she says, "Hey, your Theo Yorgo, Theo, Uncle, Yorgo, George, wants you to come over. We're supposed to all come over and cut trees for him." Now, Theo Yorgo is an orchard farmer, and he's a well-off orchard farmer. He just doesn't like spending money. He's also an eccentric and kind of an odd eccentric. And the fetching Mrs. Grusis always tells me that when I look at him, I'm looking at my future. So Often he probably saves money by having us go over and do stuff for him, and we do, we're all family. So I quickly took a quick shower, I stuffed some food down me, grabbed my backpack, put a bunch of hammer bars and Cliff bars and water in there, and off I went to the farm. When I get there, of course, everyone has already started work because I was doing my last day of training in the morning, and all the chainsaws were gone and there were just axes. So they said there's some few trees that are marked for taking down at the far end of the orchard, the other end. So I grabbed my axe and my backpack, and I'm just kind of trudging along to the other end of the row where the fence is. So I get there, put my stuff down, find the tree, and about to take the first swing, and as I do, all of a sudden Theo Gorgo pops out of nowhere and says, "Not this tree. This is the tree where I first met my first love." So, as hard as it is, after 4 days of riding, to swing an axe, it's even harder to stop an axe, but stop it I did. So I am sitting there, I'm looking at him, not saying a word, grab the axe, grab the backpack, and I start walking down a couple rows, find another tree that's marked. Put my stuff down, take my axe again, take another swing, and all of a sudden he pops out again and says, "Not this tree. This is where I first kissed my first love." I thought he went the other direction, but there he was. Now, my back is sore, my arms are sore, I'm mumbling colorful metaphors to myself, grab my stuff, walk down a couple rows, find another tree. I pick up the axe, I look around, don't see him. I look around again, I don't see him. Take that swing, God damn if he was there, and says, "Not this tree. This is where her mother first saw us making love." So, at that point, he had me. I was curious. I said, "So what did she say?" Bah. Until next time.